I carried it home.
Welcome back, episode 150 of Revisited. Ruby, I don't care what number you say, I'm just gonna call this 150.
It might be.
Or it might not be, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We are talking about Demon Slayer. Hey, how about that? It's almost like this is some kind of month. We are talking about why Demon Slayer hate is so forced by Cedgehog. Never heard of him, nothing against him.
He's
as
really,
always.
I've,
And again, that's
got
not
a
to say
lot
they're
of
small or
shorts.
something. It's just
I was about to
legitimately,
say,
I've never heard
they
of
were
them.
very new because this is their second video essentially, but they've got a lot of shorts. So I don't know if they deleted the actual videos,
Or they might have come over from something like TikTok and started doing more long form video things. Because even with this radio blur zoom out thing at the very beginning, it's very TikTok coded. And YouTube Shorts coded, I'll say, because of course it's just the verbiage of what people expect TikTok editing and TikTok coded to be. So description, boys.
Everyone says how Demon Slayer is mid and only gets carried by animation, but is that actually true? Today we look at the development, the rise of popularity of Demon Slayer, and try to find out exactly where did things go right for it.
Episode 19.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, what legitimately? What else can you say?
Yeah. It went right because the right studio got attached to it at the right time, and the right amount of people watched it and recommended it, and then more people watched and recommended it.
And the counter is what was it? Face Day.
Uh-huh.
Because same studio,
Yep.
very pretty,
Yep.
but
Very simplistic plot lines from what I understand.
but as we know from the multiple streams, it's constantly like, where do you start?
Yeah.
So
Getting into it is the complicated
yes.
part.
So somebody hopping in, just like, this is a movie, and then Muff is just like, you remember what you did, man? It's like, okay, so I guess this is the fifth thing I was supposed to watch.
But then it's also you look at something like, what was it, Garden of Sinners or something, that those OVAs or those multitude of movies, that movie series, it's like very pretty, very interesting storyline.
It just wasn't very good.
Yeah. But Demon Slayer is not very good.
I know.
But
it was a lot more complicated.
And I was about to say it's more action coded, and action coded really activates something in people's brains.
And is pretty psychological as well.
As opposed to this, because something like Death Parade is super psychological, but Demon Slayer is just, hey, those are the demons, and it tries to tackle more complicated things like hashtag not all demons, but it really never explores any aspects of that. So at the end of the day, it is mostly just, hey, those are demons, so we should be cutting their heads off.
Point blank, period.
There's not a lot to say about Demon Slayer.
And we will talk about Demon Slayer.
Let's get into it.
The only discussion I ever see about Demon Slayer nowadays is that it's such a mid-anime that gets completely carried by its animation.
You need to branch out further then.
For sure. I am not a person that talks about, hey, it's carried by animation. Now, it is absolutely propelled by its animation. Carried, whatever, because the manga sells. People do enjoy the characters. They do enjoy the story. Blah, 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 blah. But if it was animated like Fairy Tail, a fifth as popular? A seventh?
But even if you look at the two big ones, Just Stop and
Captain
Mac, those are what do we got, like 2 hours, 3 hours of criticisms? Very few of them are animation. And
in fact, they'll go, yeah, I understand the animation is really pretty.
Here's all the issues with this show. And if you're not looking for it, because I think Captain Mac is at 1 million views, over 1 million.
Oh, for sure.
Views. Agree with it, disagree with it, the criticisms are there.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, because this carried by animation argument is such a bad faith argument, or typically bad faith argument, because it is just the same people that will go something like AEW is flippy wrestling. It's just, you're not really paying attention to the anime or anything or the source material. You just want to dunk on it, and the way to dunk on it is to go carried by animation. And this is also a very easy thing to dispel because, hey, I can talk about the characters that are well liked and well regarded and their character arcs. Hey, I can talk about the themes, the story element. I can really dispel a lot of your carry by animation nonsense simply by stating what's in the book.
Yet Demon Slayer is one of the most recognizable animes of the new generation and was a global phenomenon at the height of its popularity.
What's that have to do with saying no, it's not carried by animation? Yes.
Because if you look at something like Akane Banashi, selling very, very well. No anime, nothing. It is carried purely by the strength of the characters, the plot, the manga, the art, whatever it is that the people are drawn to. You cannot say that it's carried by animation. Demon Slayer before the anime was middling, and obviously things could get a bump after the anime, which watch a very good manga got a bump after the anime came out.
And that's always the way it's going to be, because more people watch anime than read manga. And if something gets an anime, it feels like, hey, this is a series deserving of my attention.
It's worth it.
Yes.
Instead of just, it's going to get canceled in 20 chapters.
Astro Royale.
27 manga that we got to read.
Jesus Christ. He showed me, he sent that list. I was like, the f is this? And he still cuts out. Like, yo, we're legitimately going to be reading like 800 chapters of canceled manga.
That's why we have plenty of time.
Yes, we needed it.
I've already started, and I'm just like, oh, man.
And what sucks is, I know there's going to be something in there I love.
Already.
And it's just like, I know what happens here.
Yeah, no, we know where this is going.
But
it's going to be very interesting seeing the constant, just like, all right, it's chapter 18, it ends in chapter 22, and it's just 4 chapters of, and then they beat the biggest bad dude, and then they got together, and it's going to be so sad seeing that over and over, because that's what happened with Psych House. It was just like, oh man, my mom, oh, she's back alive, and everything is great in that Psych House, hooray, things were going on. I took a look at the last chapter of Astro Royale.
We're starting the tournament, and here's the final 4.
It is. I will accomplish my mission, and our adventure sure will go on. Thank you for serialization. I'm like, oh no. Oh, Rip Bozo!
Oh, got it.
It was a global phenomenon at the height of its popularity. So, which one is it? The main argument
What?
It can be carried by animation. It can be, this is the thing, why it's popular, and still be a global phenomenon.
Yeah, I don't think he dispelled anything in there. I know I'm saying dispelled a lot.
Seen is that Demon Slayer has nothing that stands out about it except for its high quality animation. But surely there's more to Demon Slayer's popularity and success than that, and I think there's a reason why it became such a global phenomenon, especially in Japan. I think we needed...
I'm gonna say, before you even get started, sir, or madam, or they, I don't know what the neutral of sir and madam is. I don't know if there's even anything like it. I'm going to say, before you even get started, that whatever you're about to say, you can apply to Fairy Tail.
That is true.
And Fairy Tail is largely regarded as a series.
There was just a video that was just like, what the was it? It was like Mashiwa, the genius of manga or something like that. And it was like 2 hours. I'm like, who and what and why? The king of shonen, Rave X Fairy Tail X Eden Zero retrospective, 2.5 hours.
Impossible.
So, You ain't saying nothing about Demon Slayer if somebody can pump out 2.5 hours of that doo-doo, man.
Take a look at Demon Slayer's publication history and anime production to see where exactly did things go right for it. Demon Slayer became a serialized manga in the same way that other manga get their start, weekly or monthly magazines in Japan. After the author Koyoharu Gotege failed to get their one-shot Hainiwa no Zigzag serialized into Weekly Shonen Jump, Tatsuhiko Katayama, Gotege's first editor, suggested creating a manga with an easy-to-understand theme. They decided to take a look back at one of Gotege's older one-shots, Kagarigari, because of its recognizable concepts like swords and demons that didn't need to be explained to a Japanese audience. This originally wasn't accepted for a series at the time because, at least in the editor's eyes, the story was too dark and gloomy while also lacking a lot of comedy relief.
I would like to read that one shot
Yes,
of
that
what
sounds
was
interesting.
rejected and why, to see if what is being put on the page now is like they're being held back, and this is the potential that they could do if it wasn't just like, hey, dumb it down for these dumb babies.
Get the cute girl dog and have her girl dog it up.
And if because it's like easy to understand themes, like what was that? Especially when you consider that Jujutsu Kaisen is very popular. And say what you will, people do have an issue with the power system. And it's not understandable for the masses. Demons and swords is understandable. But then you got stuff like the difference between love and sound breathing. And you have to think about that. So...
I also appreciate them putting links
Sources.
and sources and hey, you can go check this stuff out yourself.
While also lacking a lot of comedy relief. In all honesty, I do think they could have made the original Kagarigari concept work if they took it to a seinen publisher instead, because it has very similar ideas to Tokyo Ghoul. The conflict of Kagarigari starts when a demon enters Tamayo's territory, a character that would later become part of the regular Demon Slayer canon. They don't say his name, but this guy that clearly is the basis for Muzan and Tamayo team up together to try and take down this demon. And there's a conversation between the three about how demons have to be in hiding from the human world and discussions on territory, which circles back to the similarities to
That sounds super interesting. I would have liked something
Yeah.
like this in Demon Slayer, as opposed to basically everyone being under Muzan. There were like 3 Muzans.
and nobody knows about demons. This seems... Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe they were just held back and maybe they can cook.
Tokyo Ghoul I had mentioned, just taking place in a more rural Japan setting. The demons even use their heightened sense of smell to hunt and ascertain the current situation, which also just screams Tokyo Ghoul to me. Eventually, when
Goodness.
Are they okay out
They're
there?
going nuts.
looks grim for Tamayo and Muzan, a young blind one-armed swordsman arrives and slices the demon's head clean off before going off into the distance. The one-shot actually gives a lot of backstory and information that would eventually be used for Demon Slayer, like the test to become a hunter, the concept of slicing off heads to defeat demons, and the crows telling hunters where to find their next target. So how exactly were they able to get this concept reworked to get picked up by Weekly Shonen Jump, and thus starting Demon Slayer's slow but sure progress into popularity? Katayama discussed with Gotege that switching out the protagonist for a brighter, normal character would work out better for the series. So, after taking in some influence from works like Naruto, Bleach, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Demon Slayer finally came into...
Editors are very...
Bleach. In terms of the protagonist?
Press play.
serialization on February 16th, 2016.
He doesn't say for the protagonist.
Okay, it just runs together with, hey, have the brighter
Your normal character would work out better for the series. So, after taking in some influence from works
Okay, so yeah, it just sounds very... So, taking influence from these things, we got Tanjiro from... And okay, it's just more so as a whole.
But then...
Naruto!
I'm sure there's... Who knows? You know. But, oh, poop, what was I about to say?
Naruto, Bleach, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Demon Slayer finally came into serialization on February 16th, 2016. Now,
Lost it.
Yeah, the make him happier.
Mm-hmm.
We see that that's not always the thing, because Ichigo isn't the happy-go-lucky, optimistic character. You got Kagurabachi, man, who's not that. He's the exact opposite. Sasuke was the most popular character, multiple popularity polls running. So it's editors.
But then, for the initial hook, it might be good to have that bright protagonist, even if some other character becomes the more popular character. People want to read Deku, even if they end up falling in love with Bakugo, but they may not want to read Bakugo from the jump as the main character.
There's no way to know that, and we're...
Something that a lot of Americans have a hard time believing is that Demon Slayer is one of the most popular anime manga of all time, especially because, at least in America, while Demon Slayer is a mainstream anime, it certainly doesn't have a legacy like the Big Three, for example. So what exactly...
I think it has a bigger legacy in America than One Piece.
Yeah, because it blew up quite big it's just a shorter amount of time that it was. We don't have 20 years of people talking about Bleach when it's going to come back. Naruto's still running. This was 200 chapters in and out. Huge phenomenon for about a year or two, and then still a big thing going now.
It's like by the time we hit episode 19, the series is over. So by the time people are getting into the series, it's already wrapped. Imagine if like Naruto came out with episode 32 of his anime right now. Like, it's been over.
happened? How did Demon Slayer become so popular? Demon Slayer's growth, as I mentioned before, was in fact a steady one. The editor-in-chief of Weekly Shonen Jump, Hiroyuki Nakano, stated that Demon Slayer's popularity started going up only after the first season of the anime had finished, which was in September 2019,
yes,
3 years after the manga had started its publication. Nakano had said that a large number of people watched the series through streaming services after it ended, rather than watching it weekly as it updated. I guess some experiences are universal wherever you go, because I know a lot of people in America that like to do this as well. Nakano had also stated how it's more difficult.
And that is Nux is a good example of that. He said that he wasn't really looking into it until episode 19.
Yeah.
Once it's finished up, you know, people binge things. They hear the hype of just like, yo, this is good, instead of wasting your time going into something and just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's all done, and you go, okay, this is a good self-contained 26 in and out.
For works to become popular while they are running in the magazine, and that Demon Slayer again did not become a major hit until 2019, which hinged on word of mouth generated after the anime's run, while also stating how the anime introduced a lot of people to manga and Jump as well. Interestingly enough, when the manga had finished, another mangaka gave their congratulations to Gotoge. Gege Akatami, the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, had said how Demon Slayer had created many new manga fans. So, did the anime, carried by its animation, suddenly create all these fans of Demon Slayer, Shonen Jump, and manga in general? What exactly about the anime made Demon Slayer a hit? At a glance,
the animation. Yeah, I'm sorry, it just is.
It is. People will go animation, yay, hooray. And we've got cases of people going, I'm not reading the manga because
I just won't, because where's the animation?
But there are people that are like, I want to experience the story. The anime hooked me in, but I will go over to the manga. So that's the manga goes up. But there's both cases. And there's people that just collect manga.
I was talking to a girl recently who was like, I'm really into Demon Slayer. And I had watched up until the Mugen Train movie that came out, and she recognized that she did not want to wait any further for the rest of the story, so she started reading the manga. And that's like, some people will absolutely do that, and that generates a new manga fan, somebody that would not have read the Demon Slayer manga without loving the anime. So I don't know why he's acting like, hey, if the series is carried by animation, why are there all these people reading the manga? Like, he's acting like this is a gotcha, when it's really just, hey, the anime generated a lot of interest in the series, and people that watched the anime bought the manga.
Yeah.
What I've said might sound like carried by animation, but let's take a deeper look just to be safe. Now, to supplement Nakano's original observation that Demon Slayer started seeing more popularity after season 1 of the anime, it's important to note that Yuma Takahashi, the director of the Demon Slayer anime, specifically said that, I don't think it was just the anime that caused it to become popular. According to Takahashi, the series had 3 main factors for its success: the power of the original work, the attitude...
This is just somebody's opinion.
And also, a lot of PR speak, I believe. Nobody that's working, the director of the anime isn't gonna go, no, it's because of my anime.
It's me, I did it!
I did it. No, this series sucks. Y'all better be thanking me. Where's my cut?
Because it was just like, I need to bolster the manga sales. And then it's like, oh, they're going to want to bring me back for season 2 or whatever. It's better than speak highly of the thing that you're working on. It's like, no, it's not just because of me. Be humble. Not just because of me. It's the great work that I'm adapting.
Everybody. And it's, you know, it's different from something like a Madam Web where they go on that tour like, this movie, and I don't give a
We did our best.
I don't give a what's going on here. But how many times do you go to a movie you've seen that was trash in your opinion, and then you listen to an interview talking about it? It was just like, I loved working on this movie. It's such a great movie. Of course, they're hyping you. Like, what are we doing here?
Anime that caused it to become popular. According to Takahashi, the series had 3 main factors for its success: the power of the original work, the attitude towards adapting it into an anime, and the environment.
2 of those things are very, I'd like an explanation. They're kind of nebulous. The attitude towards adopting it to an anime, the care with which it was adapted, the environment.
At the studio?
I don't know what the environment.
Or maybe because it was around the time the pandemic hit.
Yeah,
so
that
a lot of
the
people.
Environment, yeah.
But 2 of these are about anime.
And the environment. By the power of the original work, Takahashi basically means that while people learned about the manga through the anime, that alone is not enough to generate a hit, and that the original source material must also be good in order to continue the success.
That is incorrect.
Because
Sorry.
by the time that the first season was wrapping up, the manga was wrapping up as well. So they could just collect them all and grab them all. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to collect it. An easy thing, because all the volumes of the manga, what, $100 as opposed to a Blu-ray DVD. Those will run you about $50 for half the season. So it's an easy way to collect a lot of things, look good on the shelf. And again, there is the case that people did just like it, or wanted to like it, or wanted to be interested in it. There's a lot of different factors in this.
I'm going in the different direction in that this is basically stating that the only reason this thing became popular is because it must be good. And that is just not a fact.
Transformers, easy.
People watch bad things all the time, and it's totally cool to like bad things. It's totally cool to think a bad thing is a 10 out of 10 enjoyment, but it's still a bad thing.
If Cats sold 999 copies, I pushed it over to that million with my one.
But if Cats, a movie that most people agree is complete filth, if that had made like 700 million in the box office, I'm not gonna start looking at it like, well, it must be a good film. No.
It almost made budget.
That means it wasn't even close to budget.
No, that is exactly what that means.
Both parties. Takahashi also continued to say that the manga has a lot of various charms by mixing traditional and innovative elements. The story is a classic tale about a boy's growth, meeting friends, and growing stronger together.
But we've got 27
classic elements, so.
But we got 27 manga that surely fit into that category.
But it's got the classic elements, and then he's gonna explain the other elements that. I hope he explains the other elements that go into it.
The
long list of shonen I've read, 90% can be this.
How the characters, even the villains, are well developed, so it's not necessarily a one-to-one good versus evil story.
Let's just look at it like this. What isn't? Show me a manga where the heroes and the villains are not well developed.
Toguro is one of the greatest developed villains I've ever seen.
Ukiura is developed. Come on now. This means nothing.
And on top of that, every character is well developed. No, characters get development.
Yes.
That does not necessarily equate to them being well developed. I know what Rui wants. He wants family. He wants it off the sense of being displaced from his original family, so on and so forth.
An individual who did read the twins' backstory would know how they got into this situation. I am not one of those people, but I can see where those videos happen.
But in terms of Rui, what does he like to do day to day? What does he want outside of this family stuff? Like, if he gets his family, his perfect family, what is the next 50 years for Rui as a demon looking like? I don't know.
I don't know this muff.
Because I don't know him, because he's not well developed. He got development that was super melodramatic and hit the heartstrings of a lot of people. But in terms of his wants and desires outside of this family thing, I've got nothing for you. And I don't believe that's a well-developed character. Like, people on Sakura all the time, but I know the things Sakura wants. I know what she would do on her day off. I know Sakura. I think she's a well-developed character, even if she doesn't get a character arc that people believe is substantial enough vis-a-vis a Naruto or a Sasuke. But
I don't know what a solo mission for Zenitsu would look like.
No clue. I don't even know what Zenitsu wants except to be alive and a girlfriend.
But has layers to it, and I think I can agree.
And the they're not just good and evil. No, the demons are the evil.
Yeah, but they are doing things that are altruistic for themselves and their ideals, like Gyutaro protecting, I forget her name, the twins. Yeah. He was protecting her. It's just like, that's a good thing for him because it's something that he values, but he's still doing bad things.
Yeah, like, they're killing and eating people. We need to put a stop to them. Again, it's different if they didn't want those things. This is just, again, you said it with that two best friends thing, where it's just like, I have nowhere to put these feelings. This is a person that we have seen be nothing but bad, continues to be nothing but bad,
revels in
being nothing but bad, is about to die, and then you go, oh, but here's 3 chapters of their super sad backstory, and it's like, well, that is not the character I know.
Yeah.
This is a whole different person.
Necessarily a one-to-one good versus evil story, but has layers to it, and I think I can agree that a lot of Demon Slayer's appeal comes from this. So, remember when I said earlier that Gotouge took influence from Bleach, Naruto, and JoJo's? Incorporating these elements on top of following editor Katayama's advice about changing the main character really paid off for Demon Slayer. Katayama talked about the scene where Tanjiro defeats the hand demon, for example, and that after defeating him, there's a scene where Tanjiro holds his hand, praying that
Unbelievable! You can't praise this! It stinks!
It's stupid, dude. He smelt his sadness and regret or whatever.
After all he knows is this muff was laughing about tearing off the limbs of somebody that you spent 6 months with.
So then you have a inlaid desire to go grab his hand? Because it's not even like he grabbed Rui's hand or any other demon's hand. It's like, this is your sister and I'm gonna put y'all together or anything. He just happened to want to grab this mother's hand?
He saw the symbolism that he had was a bunch of hands. And he saw the twitching hand. He was just like, I see what's going on here. I can smell the script.
Into a demon again. When I first heard of that scene, I thought there was no other main character quite like Tanjiro, and I got goosebumps. The enemy too has experienced his own sadness, and in squeezing his hand, Tanjiro shows mercy. I remember saying, no wonder that enemy is all hands. Everything's connected. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Who was this? The editor or whoever? This is such base level media literacy.
You are doing the thing. You are getting the desired results from the mangaka. It is level 1 thinking of, he's sad, I'm sad.
No, but it's like level 1.5 in that, oh, the hand, he grabs the hand because it's connected to the hand demon who wanted his brother to hold his hand and has all these hands on him. And it's
like, yeah, that's that is what's happening.
No
here.
wonder that enemy is all hands. Like such just like base level revelations and media literacy.
So when you become a demon, what is Chris calling for? I don't have to move.
No.
Yeah. Can I what? Why? I'm in front. I don't know. Why didn't he call me? I thought I was safe. He always ruins stuff.
That's crazy.
Well, he does. He's not going to hear this. He doesn't listen. All right, here I come.
I guess you are moving today.
This is some bullshit.
Yep.
I'm in the front of the house. I should be safe, but Corey, they just don't want to move when Corey gets here. But all the times that I done stayed up and moved when, but now,
And why does it have to be today? Like, they know we record on Wednesdays. What are we doing? Give them your key. What the f are we doing out here? We won't.
Should have never answered.
Kindness that Tanjiro shows when fighting his enemies is similar to that of Naruto and Jonathan Joestar.
Then I've never seen anything like Tanjiro, and then you immediately name two most like him.
He's a combination of these two things. Okay, so he's those two things. Yeah.
I've had a strawberry smoothie and a banana smoothie, but I've never seen anything like a strawberry banana smoothie. Well, you're kind of just...
Yeah, you can imagine what the two tastes would taste like.
Even in the face of adversities and injustices they might face, Naruto and Jonathan show mercy, compassion, and kindness to their enemies.
Yeah, that was the thing that I saw in the Discord. I was just like, yeah. Jonathan shows compassion. He don't show no mercy.
Naruto wasn't showing compassion and stuff to that until the death of Haku, but he was ready to kill Haku. Like, what are we doing here? All right.
But again, compassion, mercy, these are not unique things. This is not anything that would make Demon Slayer stand out. This is just doing a thing. Because when push comes to shove, Jonathan was just like, yes, it is go time. What happens with Tanjiro? Yes, sadness, but it is go time. So it is essentially the same thing here. So what is making him stand out?
I don't even know if he shows compassion as much as like empathy.
Gotoge took these elements from these characters and reworked.
You don't know that! Don't just say that!
A source would be nice. They're very want to source things. I would like to see that source. Just saying they took things from JoJo's. You don't know what they took from JoJo's. It could have just been the demonic thing that needs to be killed. Blah blah blah. That could have been what they took from JoJo's. We could press play and in 2 seconds it could be like source. Could happen.
Into a new character to fit this particular setting, adding dimension to the enemies in Demon Slayer, as well as Tanjiro's willingness to do what's right, while also...
They didn't even add dimensions. They just didn't make them one-dimensional. They are one-dimensional until basically the moment their heads are cut off, and then you go, well, here's the past that kind of informs of who they are as a demon. Kind of informs it.
Because, in Doflamingo, he legitimately, even though it was just like if you leave Baby 5, it will be a hindrance to me. But this dude is still taking advantage of you, so I will kill him. There's multiple layers to that. It could just be seen a completely selfless thing. Could be seen as a selfish thing. It's a lot of ways that could be taken. A combination of both. She is an asset, but she is somebody that he cares about because we see him crying with Virgo and Homeboy when he died in Dressrosa. Big blew up. Monet and Virgo. He's legitimately crying over his subordinates. So we do see that. But he is a monster.
He's a monster.
This is nothing new.
He's just a cool monster. He's a slightly caring monster.
So again, this isn't making Demon Slayer stand out. This is a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things. And I swear for God, if I pick up one of them 27 canceled manga and we got the compassion for the enemy, we got the altruistic main character, we got all these things, we have to just wonder, hey, why didn't this blow up when it's doing essentially a simple story as well? Likable characters, fun, happy dynamic. All these things are being done in one of these 27 manga, but it was canceled? Wonder why?
Shoot, Psych House was basically hindered from the jump because a lot of people didn't like that the main heroine stole candy to eat when she didn't have no food or nowhere to go. And that just turned a lot of people off. Like, what are you supposed to...
And she apologized and it was forgiven. Chapter 1.
And that was enough for people to go, no thank you. There is no reason these things blow up. Again, if people knew why a thing blew up, they would just do that thing forever. Fortnite is not the first Fortnite.
All the streamers that do react videos, like Sniper Wolf, they don't necessarily blow up.
No. People that do the similar type of editing and editing thumbnails and content is like a Mr. Beast. They may top out at 40K subscribers.
The number of streamers that
what are they doing?
I have no clue what they're doing. And Peanut was just like, I don't be yelling. He's like, yes, you do. That's literally your voice.
Yeah.
But the number of streamers that have sub 10 viewers outnumber the ones that have over 100 probably. There is no standardized thing that is... This is why it's popular. But it has these things that other things made it popular. Well, there's things that are canceled that do those things.
There's a lot of people that do the NRS every flirty intro. But there's going to be ones that get 3K views. And there's going to be ones that get 300K views. And there's no real rhyme or reason who's doing what really.
Feeling sympathy for
I was listening to the Harry Potter reasons.
Because of course you were.
It's so good. Towards the end, I was legit dying because we were off on one. There was all this that just did not make sense. We were just going.
Yeah, one is inflated. When I was doing the timestamp, it was like book 1. Miscellaneous issues. Book 1.
I listened to in the Cursed Child where it was just like step on this big red X, step into the trap like 5 times. It kept going. It was I loved that. I forgot my point. I forgot what I was about to look up. I forgot my point.
You just wanted to gush about
I just wanted to talk about that because it was so funny.
Come into the light, my child.
Step into the X. I'm just like, we were off. The Harry Potter thing, that's what it was. Because I saw the fist and I'm just like, I wonder if that was a parallel they look for the I realized why the last cover was the last cover.
The last cover?
Yeah, you remember when we were just like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
The first book hand outstretched, looking up. Last book, hand outstretched.
Mm.
It is a parallel.
And it's
what
in opposite directions.
Yeah, boy. I realized that I was just like, hey! That's all.
And I think that's a lot of our issue with liking something like Demon Slayer, because we'll go, oh, ugh. But a lot of people just go, ah! And that's just the end of their stuff.
Because, the hand thing is just like, no, I understand this. It's piss.
But people don't get that. Yeah, they'll get that. Yeah, I understand this. And moving on.
Yeah, no, and it's sad. It's like, no, you can do this well.
No, it is, quote unquote, sad.
Yeah, but it is sad in the way that it's just emotionally manipulative without the cleverness, without the
work.
Without doing anything to be like, I'm not just shooting a puppy in the head on screen. Mm-hmm. That's gonna make you sad. Yes. I'm doing more with this. And this is not doing that more with it.
Because anybody can make a thing emotional. If you spend 20 minutes in a 40-minute episode with a character and then kill them in a super brutal way or super sad way, you can make people sad. People are very sad about the last episode of The Last of Us and are even talking about dropping the series. These are TV-only people. Just like, I have no one to root for now. So it's super simple. They did the whole thing with Eugene in season 1, where the entire episode is basically dedicated to him, and then he's dead, and Moss cried. What do you want? Lupin. Why would I be sad about Lupin? Get that cuck out of here.
Man, he just...
That were-cuck.
Were-cuck? My goodness. But the camera just pans and it's just death. And you just go... You can feel sad, but there's just like, oh, it's the surprise of, oh, they're just dead. Oh, man, I'm sad. That's all that you're getting, instead of just like him fighting to protect Tonks and then failing. We don't know how he died, so we don't have, oh, he died as a hero. It's just like, again, the Harry Potter Because reasons where Voldemort was just like, Harry Potter is dead. We caught him trying to run. This bastard was shot in the back. It's like, you don't need to do this. You don't need, he's dead.
You won. You don't need to. I don't need to be some, yeah, he was a big old coward trying to run, protect himself.
But those people
villainize him.
Those people have that perception of Harry Potter in their mind. Obviously not his friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But the people that are just like, oh, I guess that must have been what happened. He's in dead.
Yeah. Random Hufflepuff dude, 37, like, yeah, I guess he just was running.
People that believe the Daily Prophet in the book 5, where it was just like, this dude is nuts. He's always been those type of people that were always on the edge and just go, well, Voldemort won anyway, so it must be the truth. Yeah, those types of things. So the type of death does inform how you feel about a character when they do die.
Jiro's willingness to do what's right while also feeling sympathy for these demons. And so when...
That's Superman. Literally what you're talking about is Superman.
People complain that Tanjiro is too unrealistically kind. I want people to think about the source material that helped inspire him. I don't understand why Tanjiro...
I do not, again, I don't care, because then we have to Naruto was inspired by Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, I don't care about. He's unrealistically kind, and I can name all the reasons, and I don't care if you just go, yeah, but Naruto is too. Don't care. Legitimately don't care.
Let's talk about his unrealistic kindness, not in relation to what came before him.
Editors or no, the mugs picked up the pen and wrote this stuff. I need to talk about what they wrote and not what influenced it, especially when I don't have a source for this. It might be a source in the beginning.
I don't think so.
That's fine.
Sympathetic to the demons gets him flack, yet Jonathan feeling sympathy for Bruford after their intense battle doesn't warrant the same reaction.
But he explained why he felt that way about Bruford and the street gang and all of that. And Bruford
did Bruford do anything?
I was just about to say, Bruford wasn't just gleefully talking about ripping off the arms of the people that just trained you for 6 months, that became your friends. This is real. This is hashtag. He was the coolest guy energy.
And also, Brufa was just like, you got me. Here's my sword. Here's the properties of the sword. He was gracious in his defeat. The hand demon feels sorry for himself. He wasn't like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have angered this dude by gleefully talking about pulling the innards out of this child.
That's the other thing. No demon ever feels sorry for the things they've done. They always talk about this black and white, but it's always sadness for what they were. So frustrating. And this excuse of you hated it here, but you didn't hate it before. Maybe situations are different. Yeah. Maybe not everything exists in a vacuum and everything is just, hey, this super nice dude is showing compassion to the enemy. Yeah, I could just say that and you can go, well, it's the same over here, but it's not the same. It's objectively not the same.
Jonathan is just like, this is what a gentleman does. Mm-hmm. I don't want thanks because I did something nice. I did what I did because it's what a gentleman does. Mm-hmm. Tanjiro is just nice because he's just nice. Yes. Naruto, you could be like, he wants to put out the good vibes that he never had. So he's gonna show compassion to the people. That
because he was Sasuke.
No, he wasn't. He was like, come on back, Sasuke. I'm your friend.
No, I'm talking about in the beginning. Like, just seeing Sasuke, he's all in his face like, you.
Yeah, no, because there's no reason to feel kindness or compassion towards Sasuke. He doesn't know about the Uchiha massacre.
But he doesn't know anything about Haku except that's your buddy.
But when the mask fell, it was just like, this is the kind person that I met before. So you can be ruthless, but you can also be kind. Because reasons coming up.
Oh, dude. Yeah, Naruto's not a good series.
And whenever we talk about it, it's always the first half stuff. So I'm very interested in going back into the war stuff. That's the stuff where I'm just like, I'm very hazy on it. The Obito stuff is just like, yeah, it happened. I don't know how I'm going to feel going back to that.
Their intense battle doesn't warrant the same reaction. Even then, I think saying he's unrealistic.
What if they do have the same reaction? Because part 1 is not very liked.
No.
And that could be because one of the reasons why he's too altruistic.
And that's another thing that these creators never really think about. They always are trying to search out the hypocrisy of people criticizing whatever thing they're defending. But they never look at it as, hey, what if this person criticizing this series also criticized part 1 and Jonathan for the exact same thing, and they're consistent in that. Now, once you recognize, hey, they're consistent in their dislike of this thing, what is your argument for and against it? But it does sound like he's about to create an argument.
But it's just the big monolith of this person doesn't like this, so everybody that liked JoJo must have liked this, and everybody that doesn't like Demon Slayer must not have liked this. It's like, there's so many different people, so many different experiences. It's not just that one
reaction.
thing.
Even then, I think saying he's unrealistically kind is a poor mischaracterization of his character. He clearly has hatred for Muzan and Akaza after everything they've done, but especially when Hantengu tries to say that the Demon Slayers are cruel for picking on someone weak, Tanjiro can smell the hypocrisy and disingenuousness from a mile away, and just
That is a problem that I have with Tanjiro. Conversations are lessened due to the fact that he can just smell. Yeah. It's not him coasting the Shinobu, her sadness out of her. It is him going, my supernatural sense tells me this. Talk about this, will you?
It's like the opposite end of the autism spectrum of a type of autistic person not being able to navigate a social situation, like they don't understand what they said that caused somebody to be upset, or somebody subtly letting them know that they're trying to back away from the situation and they're not understanding that. Tanjiro can superhumanly go, oh no, you're sad right now. Oh no, you're happy right now.
Even more mad. He has
But again, You say this unrealistic thing, kindness, blah blah blah. You're acting like kind people can't get angry.
Yeah, he's not 100% kind. He is unrealistically kind in the fact of all the actions that he does, but it's not people going, this is his only character trait and he never strays from his kindness. He is kind. Yes, he has spurts of anger. He's not just like, oh, moves on, you scamp, you won't get away with this. No, he's obviously going to have anger towards him. Mm-hmm. But when his head's getting lobbed off, he's going, oh man, I'm sad.
Empathy for his enemies when their more humane side reveals themselves, but is
No! What? No! You're wrong! Rui's humane side never revealed himself. He just felt that way. He smelt it. Yeah. The hand demon, humane side never revealed itself.
Because there is no humanity. He just feels sad. And that's just like, oh man, demons aren't just angry. They can be sad too.
He smells great regret coming off a demon. He does not understand the circumstances of that regret. He just knows there's great regret and sadness. So he goes, I'm going to comfort you and show you a modicum of compassion, and that's going to be the end of my thing here.
And again, twins disintegrate, and he doesn't think about them again. That's all it is. In the moment, these people are sad, moving on. It's not changing him as a person. He's not growing, learning, nothing. It is just this thing smells sadness. It's not just a thing. It can be sad.
He went from a family fight to a family fight, and it affected him nothing. A person that wants family and is doing anything to get it, which is what Tanjiro's doing, and a brother-sister combination that looks out for each other, which Tanjiro's doing, and he never thinks of, hey, this could go sideways. I was watching a show or listen. Invincible Fight Girl is an Adult Swim TV show that seems westernized anime. It's very like it feels like whoever wrote it watched like 3 anime in their life and recognized, hey, these are the things I need to do in an anime. But it's pretty good. So the story is, it's a world of wrestling where wrestling is like at the apex of everything. And this girl wants to be a wrestler even though she was born into an accountant island. And she's like, wrestling makes me feel super duper happy.
Oh, I remember seeing this.
And it makes me feel so good. So she assumes that wrestling can only be a good thing. But she comes across somebody who wrestling basically destroyed their life. And she's like, I've never thought about it, that this could be a bad thing. Hey guys, let's never turn out this way. And she recognizes now that wrestling isn't just this happy-go-lucky, everyone's having fun, this is so good. Tanjiro never recognizes, oh, the things I'm doing for my family could turn super dark really quick if I allow it to.
What would I do to save Nezuko?
How far would I go?
Yes.
Because he was about to let that demon go until Nezuko was like, go get that mother and I'm going to burn up in the sun.
He had the thought of the demon was getting away, but Nezuko was here. It wasn't just like, all right, boom. So there's not those thoughts. There's not the thought of, I almost let this muff get away.
Yeah, he never even thinks about that. Like, I was about to let him go for Nezuko.
That's probably a sentence or two.
Yeah.
Probably. But it's not really affecting him in the way that it is you are constantly feeling the sadness and regret of these people that are disintegrating right before you. And it's just not. This dude wants family so bad that he just creates them. He tortures them, puts them in a life that they do not want to be in. And he's just like, well, it couldn't be me.
Isn't just blindly kind to anyone he faces. And Katayama especially loves the character of Tanjiro because of his kindness. Granted, even Gotoge did say that they were worried that Tanjiro was too normal of a character and that they weren't interesting enough, but Katayama insisted that Tanjiro was fine the way he is. He shares a lot of the same struggles that other shonen protagonists have about wanting to become stronger to protect the ones close to him. His conflict has
I don't necessarily think that's Goku's thing.
It is a result. The protection of people is a result of the strength, but his number one goal is to fight stronger people.
Yeah, so again, I don't think that's necessarily a Goku thing. I don't even think that's necessarily a Tanjiro thing. I know he needs to get stronger to get the blood, and he recognizes he's gonna have to go get the blood. But I don't think he goes, I need to get stronger in order to protect like Zenitsu or Aoi or whatever, or a village.
I realized in my video I didn't mention the animation.
Your legitimate
My
video.
legitimate video. I should have done at the end where it was like, Demon Slayer does have some good points. Why didn't I do that? It was
the crunch.
It was the crunch time, and it was towards the end. I was just like, I gotta end this.
Complexity because Nezuko is also a demon, so it's not like he can outrightly say that all demons are evil, especially when he relies on the help of Tamayo as well. And Katayama believes
but everybody else can
Yeah.
with impunity. And what does he do to...
And for the most part, they're right.
Yeah.
The only one they were wrong about was Nezuko.
Yeah, because she's the super special one. And Tamayo, because for some reason she got out of the control of Muzan and stayed out of the control and can survive with only a little bit of blood. So these are the super exceptional cases
That we don't even know why they're exceptional. They just are.
It's not just the rank and file again. Just one scene of a demon crying, a child demon eating their parents crying, does so much.
Yes.
And it does not want to do this, but they do. Just that.
And I don't mean a
so
freshly
far.
turned one. I'm talking about a demon that's 10 years in. Like, I've eaten 30 humans. I try my hardest not to, but it just keeps happening. The hunger. You don't know the hunger.
how this conflict plays out for Tanjiro in search for a cure for Nezuko while fighting demons along the way is an incredibly unique take on a story. And I have to agree with him on that, and I think that's a really underappreciated part of the plot of Demon Slayer. Quick side note.
How many people do you hear praising this?
What is unique about it?
Yeah. I have to gather information to get a cure? It's basically Dr. Stone.
Yeah, I agree. That's a show that I've seen.
If anyone was interested in what the Bleach influence on Demon Slayer was, Kotoge mentioned that the Gote 13 in Bleach came up a lot in meetings with their editors, so I'm assuming the Hashira have a little something to do with that. Another thing...
Number one assumption, obvious connections, but a group of strong people who there's a group that you have.
A shadow group of strong people.
There's a group, of course there's going to be the super strong people within those groups.
Mm-hmm.
The Frieza Force had the Ginyu Force. There's going to be those strong people that can mentor the weaker. And obviously not the Ginyu Force we mentor, but the strong people mentoring the weaker people within the group. Again, can you not have an organization with strong people without people going, Clorox? Clorox stands.
Still one of the greatest of all time.
That Demon Slayer executes really well is the writing and dialogue especially. Katayama mentioned that the dialogue is the part of the story that he'd like people to be aware of the most, and remarked that the scene with Giyu...
Okay, a lot of what you're saying is just words from another person that you agree with. It's not really your own thoughts on the matter. It's just, hey,
really
editor...
explaining what the reasoning was, and instead of just going explaining what the reasoning was. And I agree with it because it is good for these reasons.
Yelling at Tanjiro about lore.
Like, even with that thing, it was what this guy said, and I agree. It's a really underrated or underappreciated aspect of Demon Slayer's plot. And it's like, well, you didn't really explore why you think that's good or what in that especially since if you believe it's an underappreciated thing, why would it contribute to the carried by animation argument if people don't even appreciate what's going on in it?
His defenses was incredibly impactful to him. For myself, I think that there are a lot of lines that have some kind of impact like that in Demon Slayer. Set Your Heart Ablaze by Rengoku
again, the trashiest series can have very good lines. But again, talking about the Harry Potter thing because it's very, very good. I mentioned a line that I loved in the 7th book where it was his throat and his mouth were dry, but so were his eyes. It's like, that is very, very good writing in an 3 out of 10 series. I don't think a line essentially in what would be the 33rd episode,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna make people go, "This is it."
Like, set your heart ablaze. I don't.
Yeah, it's anything that the Muv could have said at that point would have been impactful.
One of the main ones I can think of, but going back to Tanjiro's convictions, struggles, and emotions, I think his lines to Muzan and Akaza are incredibly impactful as well. Something about dialogue
Everything can be impactful to anybody.
and writing that I think is worth mentioning too is that a lot of the times the translation doesn't quite do the work justice. For example, I found this interview later on while I was editing, and while the line here says, "Never leave yourself so defenseless in front of an enemy," the Japanese line was translated here as, "Don't let others have the power of life and death."
I don't know if this person can read Japanese, and if you cannot, what do you believe the translation is correct on that end?
Yeah, why is this person more legitimate? Unless I'm going to the source because they thankfully linked it in the. Oh, that's not what it is.
News Live Door article 1776.
No, News Live Door is this, and you go here and it's just Japanese, and it's not really.
Do the read more. Scroll down. You went too far. Read more.
It says read the article. Why do you think? How do you analyze the popularity?
Okay, so he's just leaving this link up from what the interview question he just said, but it's not necessarily about this translation or whatever.
But this should be about the trend. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Because again, if you don't personally read Japanese, I trust the one translation just as much as the next. If you went to college for it or you're a native Japanese speaker, I would trust you more than a lot of fan translators.
There's a dude called Herms on Twitter, and he's very big in the Dragon Ball community.
Herms or Hermes?
Herms.
Okay.
He's talked about it.
Okay.
But he'll break down like this kanji means this, and when used, because Japanese is very contextual based. It's not just the dog walked across the street. It's the street, and then that's the subject, and it's a whole lot of those things. So different sentences could be translated in different ways, and it's all about the feeling and the emotion that could, and how well it flows. Because this sentence could have flowed better with what Giyu says in it. Don't leave yourself defenseless, but don't let others have the power over life and death. Like, that might not flow as well with what's being trying to be conveyed in the English language, but even still, again,
like this could be translated as "Don't put your life in the hands of others" or something like that.
So this is what it is. I don't think that this was linked.
Yeah, it's just about the article, the interview that was going on as he talked about this translation. This translation is just an anecdote. Oops. Speaking of anecdote.
Hey, this person could speak Japanese, and that could be his own translation.
Hey, sir. I just said that like 5 times.
Oh.
Now, I don't speak Japanese myself.
Oh! Well, what kind of idiot would think that this guy speaks Japanese? Couldn't be me. Oh my goodness! Who would brag about doing them?
Now,
oh my God.
to be the most fair, if you were listening, what I said was,
oh man,
oh
Jesus!
Unless you yourself speak Japanese, you're kind of just trading one translation for another. So don't hit me with this guy must speak Japanese. Never said no like that. Never. Bruh, you can't. Okay, why does this happen so often in Revisited? Where we go, well, okay, maybe he just speaks Japanese, and then we hit play and it goes, I don't speak Japanese.
Because it's very simple. We don't take note of the times where it doesn't happen, So, but we do take notes of the times where it does happen, so that makes it seem like there's a lot.
Dude, no, it legitimately 9 times out of 300 episodes is a lot to go.
It is.
Hey, this.
Absolutely.
Maybe they mean this. No, I don't mean this.
No, I mean the exact opposite of this.
It's like, oh, maybe they are a manga boy. Now, I haven't read the manga. And it's too many times this happens to not be noted.
The perfect timing.
Like we heard it before or
The
something.
DSP stuff is like, this isn't how it works. This is how this works.
You can just do this. You can. It's impossible.
I don't want to get too hung up on this topic without better understanding, but it is a shame that we can't appreciate something as much because we don't speak the original language.
You can't appreciate this line because it may not be what the line says because you don't speak the language. How do you not understand this?
Also, how is this line better? What is there to be appreciated more by this line?
If anything, it feels cooler. And of, I guess, conversation.
Even if you try to argue that Demon Slayer is too basic, that actually works to its advantage.
Yeah, boy. Simple equals sign. Good.
Again, everything you've talked about can be noted to Fairy Tail. Everything. Even the compassion of the enemies. Both Natsu and Lucy have done it. So, what do we... This is just Fairy Tail. And guess what? People hate Fairy Tail.
But, counterpoint, Fairy Tail is popular. In a certain set of people. It's a simple story.
Do you believe that Fairy Tail is a top 20 popular anime?
No.
25.
No.
35.
No.
50.
Yes.
50. Oh, low in the top 50. Like 48.
Yes.
I would
Absolutely.
I would hear a conversation about that.
And I would be willing to say have that conversation.
35 I would not.
No, absolutely not. Low 50s. Scratching 50.
Like if 3 hype things come out, is no longer in the 50.
It is those Japanese trains where they're just pushing people, trying to get every single person in there. It's just like, get in there, Fairy Tail!
Because it helps span the appeal across multiple generations. According to an internet poll done in 2020 by Oricon Monitor Research, a lot of respondents of the survey had mentioned that they were able to treasure and connect with their families and even different generations at the workplace over Demon Slayer.
Because it's popular.
Yes. A lot of people watched it, so a lot of people can have a conversation about it in the same way that a lot of people can have a conversation about The Last of Us or Severance or the WWE.
Is Naruto so hard to get into?
No.
That a 60-year-old could not understand what's going on here? Again,
And
not unique. We're back into Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail. But again, how many people were polled in this? Because if it's like 30 mothers, it's not really a sample size that you can draw and that you can extrapolate any type of real data from.
And to simply say that 90% are familiar with Demon Slayer, I'm familiar with Big O. That doesn't mean anything. And especially when you walk down the street and you see a bunch of Demon Slayer stuff, of course you're going to be familiar with it.
I would never have thought that at my age I would have a conversation about anime with my mother who is in her 60s. Our mom was having conversations about anime with us and she did not watch them. She wanted to get into some. In addition, when asked about episodes and events that occurred after liking Demon Slayer, whoa, that's a bad cut. That word rap is crazy. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, many people said they felt a connection between their parent. Dude, Omicron, who is this from? Anime News Network? Yo, can y'all fix y'all word rapping? It's really pissing me off. Their parents and children such as I wanted to cherish my family. Man in his teens? What? Is this AI? I never thought I'd be talking about anime. Oh, what? You did the same thing! Okay.
This is less than 3,000 people.
That's not a really good sample size.
But again, you felt connection to your family. I would feel if Chris walked into the room and started talking to me about MLP, I would feel a connection because I got nobody to talk to MLP about.
Yep.
You like, I have this interest and my mother is sharing the interest. Yes, you will feel that connection. This doesn't mean too much.
But this could have been anything. Like, you're acting like the only thing that people can gravitate towards is like simplistic stories. You think these 60-year-old grandmas wouldn't like Detective Conan, which is just a detective series?
Muff, they was watching Days of Our Lives, which running for 30 years, and you got 30 years of storylines to keep track of. You miss a day, you out the loop.
Guns, like Gunsmoke and all those westerns. Just big bad dude rocks up and saves a town. You think they can't recognize something like that in an anime? Trigun, except he got a big gun arm sometimes. Everything else is fine. Cowboy Bebop is westerns in space. Like, that's it.
Oh, 60-year-old lady, like, is that water real? It's like, well, no, it's a metaphysical.
Hunter x Hunter. You think they can't understand Hunter x Hunter? A boy going on an adventure to find his father.
Again, we're not into the uniqueness of this and why it's not being carried by the animation or what makes it not carry or anything. It's all just things that are just like, you can name so many things that this happens to.
There was a like 3-year-old kid and the parents was like, what song do you want him to put on? He went OVO because he knows they not like us. Are you telling me that that's bridging the gap of generations? Or is it something recognizable that the kid enjoy as I look at this 30-year-old man talking about my 2-year-old daughter can now say Kimetsu no Yaiba?
A woman in her 30s remarked that when going to karaoke with people of different age groups, everyone is able to bond over the theme songs Gorenge and Homura. A woman in her 50s said that she was having more conversations with people in her family and at work. And a man in his 60s says that he loves talking to Demon Slayer fans.
Hey, you know what can also do this? Marvel movies. Yep. Star Wars movies.
One Piece.
This is not special.
At all.
Now it's special to these people. Yeah. They get to connect more with the people they care about. But in terms of, it's working for Demon Slayer, no. Any series that they all watch, they can connect with. We used to sit around every Friday night and watch Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. And just, hey, is it true? And we play a game. Is it true? Is it false?
That was fun.
We should run that back because I haven't seen those episodes in forever.
That was fun.
We should do it with like the Discord and see if we can do something with that. But yeah, like we used to run that every night. That's a way we connected. I used to connect with my mom with Twilight Zone marathons. Anybody, any media.
But because it's so popular, so many people are watching it. So it's not popular because it's connecting people. It's popular and it connects people because it's popular.
I saw some story on some forum about some dude's like 60-year-old dad just like, yeah, Luffy's my guy because he watched One Piece live action. Now they're connecting over One Piece. Whoa, buddy.
Industry that really seems to care about age and gender demographics by separating into shonen, seinen, josei, and shoujo, Demon Slayer really breaks down a lot of those barriers.
No, it doesn't! Oh my, this is so ridiculous. This is such ridiculous.
Are you telling me that 30, 40-year-olds aren't reading One Piece? Come on now.
Or Sailor Moon. The thing it does is all this does is it targets the demographic. So we're targeting young
Women
boys
are
aged
more
12.
likely to like a romantic story as opposed to a grisly medieval story.
But that's not necessarily Hey, only women can like that. Demon Slayer is breaking down no barriers. It's a super popular show that a large demographic of people like. Just like any other super popular show, super popular manga, super popular anime, super popular movie. Marvel movies are targeted at like mid to late teens or early to late teen people. You're telling me a 50-year-old isn't rocking with the Marvel movie? I know because I see them yell about wokeness every other day in the MCU. So this argument is just like, come on.
2011 One Piece readers. 12% are between 1 and 18. 43% are between 19 and 29. 32% are between 30 and 49. And 13% are 50 and above.
So the target demographic is the lowest demographic.
It is beaten out by 50-year-olds.
But how big is that sample size?
I'm looking for how big the sample size.
Because you know
because
how
we would be hypocrites if we were just like, hey yo,
this is the one that
polled
works.
20 people.
This one counts because we agree with it.
We're on the spot.
Yeah. Let's just say 40 million people were polled.
With its accessible quality. And that's something that Katayama...
We're back to accessible.
Yeah.
Hey, Dragon Ball is accessible.
You know what's
envisioned
not?
about Demon Slayer. They remarked that Demon Slayer is hyper mainstream. It strongly captures human nature.
Again,
no, that's human nature
it's
nonsense.
Hyper mainstream. That means it's already popular. So you're not going, it's popular because of this. You're going, it is hyper mainstream. That's all. You're not proving anything by going, yes, it is popular. Yes, it is popular. The point of the video is why is it popular, not the fact that it is popular.
When something's hyper mainstream, that in essence to me just means it's popular for being popular. You're looking at Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You're looking at your Marvel movies. You're looking at your Star Wars. You're looking at Pal World. You're looking at that new drug game that everybody loves.
Repo.
Not Repo, but the other one. But Repo's another one. And
Phil played it.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, this is hyper mainstream. It's popular for being popular. Now, is what's within it good? And that's what you should be arguing. But you're not arguing that. You're arguing that it is popular.
And we know it's popular.
So how long is it just going to be, oh, this is popular? It taps into human nature. Like, what do we... These are just super flowery words from a dude that essentially works or with... the Demon Slayer.
Legit, it's just like, if we were just like, hey, we got 40, 50 people on the live stream. Why are people coming to live stream? Could be because we're doing Naruto. Could be because it's funny. Could be because they're just bored.
Could be because they want to hear the points or whatever the video is and our points against the video.
Could be that they're farming points.
Could be just waiting for T23.
But then, if you ask the people in the chat, they'd be like, yeah, I'm here for this reason and this reason. So you could have a large number of people saying a large number of different things about why it's why they're here. But I wouldn't go, yeah, they're all just here because we're funny.
I wouldn't say, hey, whatever the number one of the poll was, like if we
that's
all poll,
what it is.
Yeah, that's why everyone's here.
Humans overcome adversity, grow, and fight villains who deserve to be fought against.
This is what isn't this?
It is both mainstream and unique. You're basically describing shonen. This is fairy tale again, I say. The only difference is truly right now the animation. Switch the animation styles, switch all that, and let me know if Demon Slayer and Fairy Tail would switch in their popularity. And I don't mean Fairy Tail blows up like the next big thing. I mean it becomes 3 times more popular than it is, and Demon Slayer becomes 1/3 as popular as it is, 1/5 as popular as it is.
It's both mainstream and unique. It's a great work of entertainment that anyone who likes manga can enjoy, regardless of age or gender. I want it to be just...
What, dude?
I am a big black dude in his late 30s, and I love slice of life manga. It is not for me, and it's all I'm reading.
I'm not picking up something and just going, boy, this isn't for me, but let's rock it. Like, because as we know from Triggs, manga isn't for us. So the media itself is all, we're already the barrier that we need to jump into. So it's already not for us. Everything's not for us. So also keep in mind.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You can't. Also keep in mind. Also.
Manga's not for us.
I agree. Because that's exactly what I was saying. But also, it's not for us. So I'm disagreeing. Because it's not for us anyway.
That. And if this action shown in formula is being done well within its key components, what exactly is the problem here? And another thing to...
You've not established that it's done well.
No, you just established that it's done, and you use the words of an editor to go, hey, this is really cool. And you're just going, yeah, the editor said so it must be true. The problem is that if you were to look at sales, it was doing okay until the anime. And even after the anime, the best you could say it was doing was pretty good until episode 19 and the end of that first season. And then suddenly it started exploding. Then Mugen Train blew it up. That's the problem, because the thing, it was what it always was for 18 episodes, and then an episode happens and suddenly everyone's on board, and then a movie happens and suddenly everyone's on board.
Consider is that when the first season of the anime ended, people went back to read the manga, like Nakano had said, but people stuck with it. Like Takahashi said, the original work also needs to be good in order to generate this kind of...
No, we've already established this. People could just buy the volume because they want to buy it. There are absolutely, I'm not reading that manga, but I will buy the volume. People will go to a bookstore and just buy the collected works for $80.
Did everybody that read the manga enjoy the manga? You can't be like, it's good, so they read it. No,
they stuck with it. They didn't stick with it because by the time the first season ended, the manga had another like 8 months left in it. If even that.
Hype and popularity. If the manga suddenly started struggling with its story down the line, then the manga obviously wouldn't keep up in popularity. Like,
that's not true, sir. That's just incorrect. People, things drop in popularity all the time and still sell well. The final volume of Bleach and Naruto sold very well. Their final arcs are terrible.
One Piece had a top 3 arc in Egghead. It's not reaching the heights that it was when it was the most popular.
Which was Marineford.
It's not, but it's good. So should it automatically be up there? That's not how it works.
People hated the final handful of chapters, like 20-ish chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen. Still super popular. People hated the final like 40 chapters of My Hero Academia. Still super popular. You are truly equating, if it's popular, that must mean it's good. Or only good things would be popular. When bad things can become popular and things can drop off in quality and still keep making money.
Any other mangas I know that fell off. And I don't even think...
Is this falling off in terms of quality or in terms of sales?
Mm-hmm. The Promised Neverland, I don't know if the manga fell off. I just know I hear bad things about the second season. Tokyo Revenger sucks.
Have you read it?
I don't need to read all that shit.
Oh, you're one of them, huh? Going with the crowd.
No! I dropped it because it's... What do you mean? The fish you talking about?
Couldn't stick it to the end where it gets good, huh?
Clearly it doesn't.
Pathetic.
I'm seeing it on screen of things that fell off.
But this dude is going Demon Slayer is good, so do we trust this guy?
And on top of that, he said it fell off. When did it fall off for him? Because 60 chapters in, I was like, oh no.
I was about to say, was it ever on?
It was on for, you know the basic story of it. Up until like the third or fourth loop, it was on. And then I just went, oh, this is just the story.
Oh no.
It's just, I need this fight not to happen. So I gotta prevent this fight. Alright, I prevented this fight and now I'm going back to the present. Oh no, the character died. What happened there? So now I have to investigate to see what happened that caused that character to die and prevent that. And then I did it and now I go back to the present. Oh no, someone else is all stuck.
That's kind of like Harry Potter, the cursed child.
Oh, really? The worst work in the entirety of the Harry Potter?
Debatable. It was a bit of a fall off.
Yeah, that's another thing. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter stinks.
The 6th book, you can't tell me that's not a fall off. The 7th book is not good.
At all. Not at all. It's got some good stuff in there.
So, but guess when it just blew, and guess when Harry Potter blew up? The fucking movies. When something hits the mainstream, the quality don't matter no more.
The number just go up.
The number just go
Passively
up.
go up. It's gonna, all the media surrounding it will get the not all the time. Mm-hmm. There's things that are just like, hey, let's do a TV show, and it falls off.
The Walking Dead. How many good seasons do you think there are of The Walking Dead? And up until the spoilers for The Walking Dead, up until the death of Glenn, the ratings were still breaking records. And the 2 to 3 seasons pre that were shite. But people kept watching. But they lost a beloved character. They felt the stretching, even if they didn't know the source material. My God, the stretching. And now there's like 8 spinoffs.
And they're all just middling in terms of ratings. Even the return of Rick and Michonne, that was just like okay ratings.
People are like, this Daryl one is hitting and it's doing okay.
Ain't nobody watching this.
No, it's over. Are you telling me people didn't find the first half of the last season of Invincible kind of eh? Are you telling me people didn't find The Boys dropping in quality by the season as it only grows in popularity? You can't do this equation.
It's not the correlation that you think it is. Popular does not equal good, and vice versa.
Other mangas I know that fell off. And I don't even think Demon Slayer is that basic, to be honest. It just...
Then why are you praising it for the basicness that anybody can
it's
even...
good that it's basic.
It's basic enough for your 60-year-old grandma to understand, but it's complex enough for us real heads to understand how great it truly is. This is really gonna start feeling like it's only bad if you don't get it.
Borrows influences from other shonen manga just about as much as any other shonen does. So
that's not an issue. I do not care about the influences and what it borrows and how it's similar to this, because again, everything is similar to anything else, and it doesn't matter that this thing is done this like this thing has done it.
Yeah, I'm not looking at Kyoshi like, oh my god, this is kind of like Bleach or Tokyo Ghoul. No, I'm reading Kyoshi and going, this is an amazing manga. I read Undead Unluck and I wasn't like, oh, this is kind of like JoJo's. No, it's an amazing manga and I love it. Liar Satsuki. I'm not like, oh, Final Destination, Detective. No, I don't care. Even though that is a thing, talking point if people want to get into it. Detective Series, Final Destination, and I love Liar Satsuki.
Now, obviously, if it was just something like, oh, here's another manga about a dude that can write people's name down and then they die, you'd be like, oh, no. But an organization...
Yeah, it's a phone. Yeah. A book. If you text the person, they die.
Man, come on with this. But an organization set up to fight a force, supernatural force. It's not like, oh, damn, I'm this. It's like, you know.
What's the difference between this and Ghostbusters? If you just want to break it down into the most base level of what it is.
The other thing that Takahashi had mentioned, the attitude when adapting this work into an anime. Takahashi insists that because of the foundation laid out by the original work, the studio was able to apply their respective techniques in the animation and create a wonderful show. In a separate interview with Anime News Network, Takahashi talked about how the detailed artwork of Gotoge with its distinct facial expression and striking visual choices were the biggest challenge in bringing it into motion.
I don't think that's a striking facial thing. A person with their mouth hanging open.
That's not very striking.
And I don't think that's a striking visual thing with the dude just sharpening a blade with his... Now, the moment is awesome.
But it's not very difficult to have a stoic face.
A concentrated face with blood dripping down it.
And again... Show me anybody.
I mean, that was Naruto when he got punched in the head by Kabuto, and he's just looking at him while he's doing the Rasengan. Like, what's truly
that
the difference?
Super evil face that Sasuke pulled, where it was purple and stuff like that. But show me somebody that a director was just like, we were struggling.
This is what this month drew.
Oh,
what? Did nobody look at this art before we contracted this out? We're starting from scratch.
Published. This isn't like they're adopting because the One Punch Man, isn't it like a
web comic and a manga?
The web comic is adopted into an actual manga, but you're not doing the web adaptation and going straight into the anime. You're doing that. You're going from the manga. So this is normal anime stuff where people put them side by side and just go, yes, this is the thing. Yeah. Here are all the differences. Here's all the similarities in this thing.
It was big in the AMV community where you'd have all the manga panels and then the anime would be in the manga panel.
I did it in my Demon Slayer video.
Of course you would, because nobody's going to recognize that except us.
Spirit.
Just us bums that recognize, he did the thing.
If you look at Gotoge's art throughout the fight scenes of the manga especially,
what's happening?
You should have blown this up, because that's bad.
I don't know. I don't even know who's fighting in the one that's under the overlaid one.
String performance, it has to be
okay,
Tengen.
Is he talking about... No, I'm talking about the one up top.
Oh, yeah.
Is he going to be talking about if you look at it, it's hard to recognize? Is he agreeing?
If you look at Gotoge's art throughout the fight scenes of the manga especially, it's incredibly dynamic and...
yes. Dynamic.
What's dynamic?
It's incredibly dynamic and... Let's hear what he has to say.
Like he said, animating these would definitely take a lot of effort. The high quality
unlike all the undynamic manga, this is dynamic.
It would be great if he noticed, like, hey, here's a bunch of manga that's really flat. It just looked like a bunch of crap happening on the page, and you're counting that as dynamic.
Or just went, here is this fight scene, here's flowing dance. And Gotake, because of the water that they're doing, we can see Tanjiro's motion, and then we can track it with our eyes. Mm-hmm. And then that's the difficulty in doing that within the anime, because instead of your eyes just looking at this panel and then it's flowing where you're supposed to be going, they have to make it flow.
Yes, with the camera shots or cuts or panning,
and they did a good job in those aspects, like this scene.
And he can even mark it, like, here, look at this, you can see the flowing dance, you can see where your eyes are going. Now look at the clip in the anime. your eyes can't really follow that because it doesn't feel as satisfying. So the camera and the anime has to do the work for you. And here's how they did it, and here's why it's good.
And then you can also flow that into this. Neither options are necessarily better than the other, but you can see the different approaches in the terms of the printed work versus the anime and how you're supposed to read it versus how you're supposed to view it. And both are done very well where they convey the point that they're supposed to convey.
And that would even lead further into his attitude point right here, where it's like the attitude was, we see all these flowing motions and these types of things, and we have to decide, are we going to have like a static, like with Zenitsu's big lightning where he's way up here, the enemy's way down there? Are we going to have the camera following his movement? Are we going to have the camera barely missing him? Are we going to have the camera pull back?
And we get all of it at once without a cut. Those things are decisions that needed to be made, and they were made in the anime. And we can talk about why they work, why they don't work, why it works in an anime versus a manga. Or you can just say it's dynamic.
And it takes a lot of work to adapt it. And 10 minutes left.
Animation is due to UFO Table's care, attention, and experience in the anime industry. Takahashi mentioned that many of the staff...
I'm pretty sure it was very taxing for UFO Table to do such a...
I'm going to evade what you just said there. Them broke the law.
A bunch of criminals.
They ain't paying them bills.
Working 5 to 10 years, so they were just pushing themselves even further with their craft. And he ultimately stated that they weren't necessarily...
But at the same time, Toei has been there for so much longer. Mm-hmm. And
Studio Pero.
They work on their crafts. It's just a difference between the seasonal and the ever running. So there's more time and care that can be put into one.
Hey,
Kyoto
what are
Animation.
6 of the series that are here? Oh,
I recognize the bottom middle one.
I do recognize the bottom right one as Tales of Symphonia.
Obviously.
But that left one?
That
bottom
right
left?
one, whatever. Top left, I don't know what the that is.
Like top right is
that legit looks like Attack on Titan.
I think it's the Monito no Slave or something like that. I want to be a slave, or I am a slave to my masters, or something like that. Where a dude
don't click that, please.
Where a dude basically contracts out to the girl bosses, #girl bosses, to become like a monster based on who they are.
Bottom middle is a show called Ninja Nonsense.
Never heard of it in my life.
Also never heard of it.
Never in my life.
Fine. I don't know why I'm searching for the images instead of just searching for what Kyoto Animation has done.
UFO Table.
Seems kind of backwards, I'll say.
No, you got the technology and you want to use it.
It's not productive. This is not a good use of my time. But it's fine. We're not really talking about what the things are. It's fine. We can move on.
Okay. Tax evasion scandal is the big one. Wow, it's a lot of Demon Slayer. Katsuki Token Ranbu. Mm-hmm. Tales of Zestiria the X. God Eater. That's what that one was. Big ups, God Eater.
Big ups.
I do remember people talking about God Eater for a little bit of time. Garden of Sinners, of course. Yeah, they just... Ninja Nonsense was 2004. Why is anybody talking about that? Yeah, no. But again, why ain't all these series blow up? You mean to tell me God Eater didn't have a lot of the same things as Demon Slayer? I honestly...
This doesn't look very good. It's a giant sword gun dragon. Get this out of here.
Oh yeah, no, this is trash.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but you can see a lot of the techniques they use in the future.
What is this? Oh, boo.
Oh yeah, no, this is
They're
filth.
flying in the air and big dragon demon gun. So get this out. Oh, he's fighting a scorpion. Oh.
A big metal scorpion. And now he's in a coma or something.
Yeah, nah. It's fine.
Really making the best anime ever, but to make the best version of Kimetsu no Yaiba ever. They even talk about how, for example, the water breathing technique
Okay,
is
but again, who's setting out to make...
Yeah.
Who's going, I'm here for a paycheck, instead of just going, I want... The directors. The animators are there for 15 cents an hour.
I want to do the bare minimum and go home.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, those animators they are being exploited for their passion for animation
and their experience, because you get to write down, I helped on episode 19, and that could get you further jobs.
mostly done by hand, and Takahashi proudly stated that no one in the business is better at hand-drawn techniques like this than UFO Table.
Again, it's like, who's saying we're the second best in the McDonald's ain't just like, look, the Whopper got it. But our shakes are pretty good.
Our quarter pounders are and I can understand if you'd like to go elsewhere for a better burger. But just know we're here doing a serviceable job.
When it comes to chicken, you gotta admit, we're at least top 4.
And we're probably the only one close to you right now, so why not? Just not even selling yourself. Selling that you're around. You're available. Dang, he just said something that I wanted to talk about.
One in the business is better at hand-drawn techniques like this than UFO Table. Gotoke trusted UFO Table a lot and rarely requested changes, but rather just gave their input to, again, create the best version of Kimetsu no Yaiba as possible.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Why are you in this series talking about, oh, everyone talks about it's carried by animation, and all you're talking about is all the care that went into the animation?
It probably shouldn't have included that. Probably should have been a good chunky section on the characters.
Yeah.
The setting, the themes, the power.
But
system.
now, we look at this anime adaptation process. Like, we're spending a large portion of time just going, yeah, the anime's great.
Even when it comes to the music, it's done by the brilliant minds of Yuki Kajira and Go Shina, who worked on other UFO Table projects. Kajira worked on Fate Zero and Garden of Sinners, while Go Shina worked on God Eater. And because of their history with UFO Table, the animation team insisted on working with them specifically because they had such a trusting relationship together from working in the past. Even Gundam's creator, Yoshiyuki Tomie.
Yo, you're just talking about the anime in this, oh my god, anime's me.
Had remarked that Demon Slayer and UFO Table's dedication to the franchise is something that he genuinely envies. According to him, the collective
This man is
fine.
reading articles at us.
That it's fine that he thinks that the show is good. That's fine. I don't think that it's better because this mup said that it's good. Oda likes the dude that makes Rurouni Kenshin. I ain't reading Rurouni Kenshin. Dude's a diddler.
Not a diddler.
He had pictures.
He has a vested interest in the underage.
Allegedly.
I know he was convicted. There is no alleged there. Yeah, like Demon Hate. This dude is just going, I found a bunch of articles and I'm gonna read the quotes to you. Like, this is the video. It's so little of his actual thoughts and analysis.
These people said these things, and this guy is the creator of Gundam. This is an argument from authority. It's like, this dude isn't a doctor. If a doctor says, hey, don't eat fried chicken, 3 meals out of the day. It's gonna clog up your heart. I'm like, okay, I'll believe that. But this dude just going, hey, this manga pretty good. I'm not like, oh, creator of Gundam said so he knows what he's talking about.
The music was great. Oh, okay, thanks. I'm glad your opinion is that music is great.
I'm glad that they trusted them because they worked together. Yeah, good for them. This is interesting behind the scenes stuff. It doesn't tell me why Demon Slayer is popular.
God, dude, these word breaks I can't. So, look at the Ive. Yeah. And it's just annoying. Look, combination.
How Eve, or I don't think, is the second to last. How Eve, or I don't think.
Is that the soft R or the hard R?
What's the difference in preview to our DSP day? Because I'm going the R word rant.
Really? You needed it that badly?
That badly.
Crazy bars.
According to him, the collective effort of the team of animators, musicians, and voice actors, for example, all did a great job. And
again, show me this mom going. The music was great. The animation was great. Them voice actors phoned it in legitimately.
Or
I'm being honest.
Somebody like Kubo just going, yeah, I watched season 8 of My Hero. That animation was awful. The whole team sucked.
That theme was trash. They didn't have a good theme since the third one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I ain't want that dude to be Yuha Bach. He sucks. Everybody else is doing a good job, though.
No.
Nobody's talking like that, so I don't take stake in somebody going, hey, this
somebody in the industry going, oh yeah, this is really good.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's so much trust, thought out planning, and care being put into the production process.
As opposed to most that just slapdash and anime together like who? Now, there are some, like that slideshow anime that I see gift 1,000 times. That looks awful.
The first couple episodes of Super.
Yeah. But that was a time crunch thing. And then they cleaned it up.
Of making Demon Slayer that it's incredibly reductive to say that it's being carried by the animation.
You just talked about how great the animation is and all the care that went into it, and moms are going, yeah, it's carried by it, and you're going, no, look at all the care that's going into it. What are you doing?
Because people care about it, it doesn't mean that it's not carried by it. It means that they put more care into doing this because people would be more willing to watch it if it's prettier. So it makes sense that they would put the time and the effort into it.
It's got so much going for it. Everything about the anime is being brought to the highest quality imaginable, and it's being done on a story with great characters, depth, and execution.
You didn't talk about the characters. You didn't talk about the depth. You talked a little about the execution. Like, you talked about the niceness of Tanjiro, but you got 3 mobs on screen. You done talked about about 1/3 of them.
Ideas. Even one of the highest rated anime episodes of 2024 was the last episode of the Hashira training arc.
That's the image I used!
He did the thing, but unironically.
It is high quality, unlike the bad quality one that I used. Who cares?
Who cares?
Again, this doesn't say that it's not carried by animation.
Yeah. Show me the manga chapters for this anime episode and what they're rated. And do you believe those would be rated 9.8 collectively?
And anybody can just go on IMDB and give it a 10. This means nothing.
Yes. Anybody can go on IMDB and give it a 1.
In Divine Departure. It's so good.
And was that the one? Is that the episode where the house explodes and then all the mobs try to fight? So. That episode sucked.
It's fine.
It better not be the same episode with the 37 flashes of Muzan walking up. Oh my god, Aura.
It's fine.
How are there 4 minutes left? 4.5.
How are there?
Oh, he had a third point. Environment.
Oh yeah. COVID.
Yeah.
The big cough.
The big cough.
Hero training arc. That's telling me that Demon Slayer's quality is only going up.
That's not the point that you set out to prove or disprove in the case.
The people that still like it are rating it highly. That's what you're telling me. A month like me that does not like Demon Slayer, I'm not going to IMDB to rate it a 3. I have no interest.
A month like me that loves Witch Watch, I'm not rating it on MyAnimeLists. I'm not rating it on IMDb. I'm not doing anything. That's not a good... Because, like you said, you don't like Demon Slayer, you're not going to go give it a 1.
I have no interest in doing that.
Now, there will be people that do have that interest, but it doesn't matter.
As time goes on, an anime only carried by animation can't achieve as much as Demon Slayer has.
That is certainly a thesis, isn't it? It's if you think that you've proven your point, then boy,
if it was only about the animation, it would not be so popular and people would not rate it super high just based on popular.
Okay. Here comes it's sold a lot of manga again.
It can't.
I mean, just look at how many awards the anime's been nominated for or won.
Anime, dude! But he sucks.
But this is Animedia Character Awards?
Cool, mysterious, strong, cool guy? Give you one strong, cool guy?
But again,
MVP, the bright character went to Tanjiro.
Is this fan voted? Because if it's fan voted, the most popular thing would win, wouldn't it? Hang on. Animedia Character Awards.
The beautiful character Shinobu, the cute Nezuko, the hot Rengoku, cute and bratty Zenitsu. Like, the f is this?
It's a magazine.
And, hey, it won a lot of awards based off its animation, so how can you say it's carried by animation? Best Animator, Animation of the Year, Sound and Performance, Top Anime Ranking.
Yeah, it's just a magazine.
It's got to be fan voted then. And if it's fan voted, of course the most popular thing, like you said, is going to win.
And this is 2019, right?
Yeah.
Forgive the wonky scrolling, but I literally couldn't take a screenshot or import a rolling screenshot because the file was literally too long. Not to mention, the manga has also won its own set of awards, including
30th place, 10th place.
Book Walker Awards. These aren't the Oscars. This is those movies that are just like the scariest movie I've ever seen. Tim.
There was somebody that got called out for that. Like they got it put, their quote got put in like a poster or something. And it was, and the words were something like, if you want to say it's a cute and sexy story, I would disagree. And all they put was cute and sexy story by this mother. Ellipses, cute, sexy story, ellipses. Like, Mom, I ain't say that.
winning the Osamu Tezuka Cultural Special Prize for creating a social phenomenon.
Hey, you have to look that up, and the cultural phenomenon could be based on the anime since it's the year the anime after it came
popular.
out. And it's popular.
So it's won the popular award. Okay. That means
Another quick side note, if anyone was curious about what Takahashi meant by the environment contributing to Demon Slayer's success, he was mainly talking about how streaming services help the anime steadily gain viewers over time. That being said,
Hey.
I guess other anime aren't streaming.
Hey. Why aren't you talking about the Jump app or the Manga Plus app and what Demon Slayer is doing there? Why are you talking about streaming services when you're trying to dispel the notion that it's carried by animation? Like 70% of this video has been, yo, look at what they're doing in the anime. Look how good the anime is doing. So how can you say it's carried by animation? It's just like, and I always forget Trash Take Man's name.
Gigs.
It's just like Giga saying, how could you say this is mid? Just look at it. Yeah, that's the point.
I'm doing the thing.
4 minutes?
4 minutes.
You guys understand how popular Demon Slayer actually is?
I was unaware, but it is popular. It is popular. I was unaware, but now I am aware that it is very popular.
I can't believe this mother.
This video's title is the why Demon Slayer hate is so forced.
And
do you guys know how popular it is? Oh,
yo, look at the numbers. Look at the awards.
Number go down? No, number go up.
9.8 anime episode rating from IMDB.
This guy.
He said the thing.
Are you gonna tell me this guy's wrong?
Across the world is certainly popular, definitely one that most people have heard of, but in Japan, Demon Slayer is truly a cultural phenomenon, and I don't think it can be overstated just how popular it is over there.
Do you live in Japan? Do you see the day by day? Are you seeing isolated clips of all these people that love Demon Slayer doing Demon Slayer-y things and talking about Demon Slayer?
Posters and stuff in Akihabara and stuff like that. And you go, look at all the Demon Slayer stuff. It's like, yes, it is popular.
He's about to go to a bunch of cosplayers and people in the streets just in like the kimonos of Demon Slayer or whatever. And it's just like, well,
look at this Demon Slayer tattoo. Yep.
For example, the Red Cross in the Tokushima Prefecture saw a jump from 464 donations to 1,700 donations from April 2021 to May 2021. And this was during the pandemic, mind you. But many people attribute the Demon Slayer related advertising and their promise to hand out a free Mugen Train poster as to why so many more people decided to donate blood that month.
I mean, sure, it's free stuff that people want, where it's legitimately 10 minutes out of their time. You're helping somebody.
Yeah. You saw 1,300 more people do this thing because they wanted a poster. If that's even the reason, it could just be, hey, it's the pandemic. There's going to be some sick people I want to help. It could be for any reason. But let's just say the full 1,300 more people are there. That does not speak to the popularity of Demon Slayer, because I went to go to a midnight release for Mortal Kombat X, and I got a free poster. I ain't even pre-order. I just went there for the poster.
And that's not all. According to a 2020 poll conducted by education and publishing company Benesse, which
elementary age school, the 7,000. That's a pretty good sample size.
Asked 7,661 3rd to 6th grade Japanese children who they looked up to, Tanjiro Kamado ranked first on the top 10 most admired people.
Yes, it's super popular. Mm-hmm. A lot of kids like it.
Dad! No wonder why black men leave the family. They appreciate it.
This is Japan.
I don't care. This bush jumps through cultures. It don't matter.
Yeah,
look at the teacher. Yeah, the person giving you homework. If I saw this, I'd be like,
"What's going on?
What did I do to you?"
Hey, give me your slip of the survey. Tell your teacher to print it out. I want to see what you said.
There's some nice shoes you got on.
I hope the teacher can provide your next pair. No, go ask your mom.
No, go ask Tanjiro.
I don't know how to say that mother's name. He don't pay the bills around here. You eating off my plate. You got Tanjiro. I'm barely top 5.
Who the fish Shinobu?
It better not be
It
another.
better not be from that muffin show. Ooh. I just want to eat my muffin rice off of my Demon Slayer plate. I don't want to hear about it. Of course we got Demon Slayer plate.
Hey, who bought the muffin plate?
I bought these plates. And now I gotta look at this top number one muff. I can't escape him.
What is he doing here? Tanjiro!
Which placed the children's mothers, teachers, and fathers on 2nd, 4th, and 5th place
Hey, kids are stupid. If you were to ask my friend's kid their top 5 heroes, the top 5 people they like in their life, I would not doubt his number 2 would be Spider-Man. Like, kids are stupid.
And Spider-Man is cool.
And Spider-Man is cool.
respectively, with the remaining spots occupied by other Demon Slayer characters.
It's almost like it's very popular and a lot of people are watching it, so it's gonna be in their mind.
Yeah. I would hate to be the grandparent here. Just like
The uncle, like, did you vote for me?
sure.
I guess it was worth it to make Agarigari more kid-friendly, because the grip that this anime has on the younger generation especially is absolutely insane. And I'm sure Goteke's initial worries about Tanjiro not being an interesting enough character are certainly put to rest. And I think it's great that so many kids look up to a character like Tanjiro that's so noble anyway. And I think to many young people of this generation, Demon Slayer is basically their Dragon Ball. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised.
What Demon hate? It's like Demon Slayer hate is so forced because a bunch of kids like it.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I
simply don't.
That means nothing to me in regards to what I believe. Initially, I was like, "Hey, this video might be like a -3."
I was thinking that as well.
Bruh, it's going way down.
Because if you look at it, you just go, let's just pull a movie out of our head. Mufasa couldn't earn a Billy, but Minecraft is on track to earn a Billy.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be like, well, Minecraft is more influential than The Lion King? If we're looking at its pure numbers and kids in the theaters, it's not a hard rule that's just like kids like it, so I don't give a shit.
Sinners is like the best rated movie of the year so far.
Not according to Corey.
Audiences love it.
But Corey is trash.
Critics love it. It might end up making like 250 million. Minecraft was on by critics. Audiences are going for the meme of Chicken Jockey. It sounds like a not very good movie all up, but it's super popular. So I guess, hey, if it wasn't good, it wouldn't keep getting more money.
Because that's how it works.
Look at all the MCU movies. Whatever's the most earning, that's clearly the best. And whatever's the least earning,
it was
clearly
bad.
The worst.
It was always bad.
That's just the way numbers work, people. I'm sorry.
Spider-Verse did not earn a lot.
Because people, animation. Like,
It must be one of the worst Spider-Man movies.
It has to be.
Spider-Man.
Objectively. The worst live-action Spider-Man movie earned more than the second best Spider-Man movie that was animated.
No correlation. Nothing to look into there.
Nothing.
Straight facts.
What did Spider-Verse 2 make? Because I know it made it way more.
I think it made substantially more. I'm going to go 800 on a 120 million budget. No. 90 million budget.
Budget 100 to 150 million.
What's good? I should have went through 120.
The box office 690.
Really?
Yeah, it did really well.
I thought it did better though.
No. Because it's never gonna be. You can look at what did Amazing Spider-Man 2 make, and I bet you it's like 500 million.
No. That made 750.
It is the worst live action. It's the worst Spider-Man movie. Period.
What did it make?
Oh! I thought you were actually saying
No.
that's what it made.
This, I guess.
Okay. It made. What did you say?
750.
716.
I'll take it. Price is Right rules notwithstanding. Ah!
So yeah, the worst Spider-Man movie of all of them, of the mainstream ones, made more than the sequel to the second best Spider-Man.
No correlation.
It's
there.
just what happens.
No correlation there.
None.
All facts.
None.
It's fine.
Surprised if future manga writers say that they were inspired by Demon Slayer to create manga. Very much how Akira
future.
Toriyama inspired the writers of the Big Three, I think Gotoge is going to inspire future generations as well. Even beyond that, Demon Slayer is the 9th best-selling.
Influence them to what? Inspire them to do what? What from Demon Slayer can you take and do in your manga? Because if you go shadowy organization that has a bunch of people who are strong that train, you just go, nope, Bleach. I watched Demon Slayer and Bleach. So are you taking influence from Bleach or are you taking the influence from Demon Slayer? Or are you taking influence from equally 90-10? What are you doing here?
I was very interested in all the MCU box office numbers just to see what the top 3 and the bottom 3 were. Just waiting on them to materialize.
Manga of all time with over 150 million copies sold. It has beaten out Attack on Titan, Bleach, Baki the Grappler.
This means nothing. You're just saying it's popular.
Mm-hmm.
What is
That's
that?
fine.
Why would you hate it? It's popular. How can you hate on it? It's popular.
Boy, it sure did sell a lot. It sold a lot more than your favorite thing, so the hate is forced because people like it. Okay, that's fine. I can name the reasons why it's not good. And you going, it sold more than Attack on Titan does not mean that the hate is forced. Does not mean that it's good. Does not mean that Demon Slayer is bad. This is not an argument.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, all while being half as long as most of these series. Even other manga authors recognize the importance and significance of Demon Slayer in the industry. Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, stated that at Jump, Demon Slayer was really amazing, and I enjoyed how it was able to save the feelings of so many people. Absolutely superb work. This is how I want manga to be. It touched me somehow. Yusuke Murata, the artist of One Punch Man.
What the are these mothers supposed to say? Because if you ask Gotoge, I'm sure they're going to be like, yeah, I loved One Punch Man. Yeah, I love Bleach.
Show me a mangaka in shonen that's trashing another shonen Jump work. It's not good form.
The bottom three MCU movies. Let's go bottom 5.
The Marvels, the Eternals.
Yep. Nope. The Marvels was the worst selling. The Incredible Hulk. Captain America: The First Avenger.
That's crazy.
Black Widow.
That's crazy.
Eternals.
That's
And
over Cap 1. It was still back then, and they didn't really.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was not good.
Thor made more than Cap 1.
It came out after Cap, and then that was when the Vision was starting, and it's just like, is this happening?
I don't think it came out after Cap 1.
Oh no!
Because remember, Cap 1 had the Avengers and the post credit. It had the teaser.
No.
Yeah, no. Thor came out first, and then Cap came.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't think you're correct. I don't think you're right on that
2000 one. Cap May. Thor came out May 2nd, 2011.
Mm-hmm. I think Cap was like July, August of that year.
Cap 1 came out July 19th.
Yeah.
July 22nd. Oh no.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Chris Hemsworth hot. Love story easy.
Cap made 370. Thor made 449.
Yeah.
understand. Oh, I guess Thor is better then.
Yeah, it has to be objectively better. Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, No Way Home, the first Avengers, Age of Ultron. Then Black Panther, Iron Man 3, Civil War, Far From Home, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the 10th best Marvel movie. Objectively.
Women. And then Black Panther, blacks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Get them out of here. Send them packing. Send them home.
Manga remarked that its contribution to the industry as a whole is immeasurable. Even politicians were trying to use Demon Slayer.
In what way? Because the same thing with Oda was just like, it touched me. What did? How is this? I don't care about these people saying that this is good.
Yeah, the same things could have been said about Dragon Ball, could have been said about Hunter x Hunter, could have been said about One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, could have been said about My Hero Academia. Anything that got super popular, sold a lot, and did well for the manga and animation industry could be said here.
My favorite band's favorite band doesn't mean that I will like them.
No. I don't care if Dance Gavin Dance like, oh, there's some bands I'm in love, I need to put you on to. But it doesn't matter.
I probably got them because I've been going through them. I've been running through just lists and lists of things. I'm legitimately getting into country now.
Dude, country's great. Casey Musgraves like 2021 album. I forget what it was. I love that album.
Beyonce put out a country album.
Cowboy Carter.
I'm like, I can get into Beyonce and country at the same time. It's very good. Listen to Texas Hold'em. I think
I think that was the single.
That song is theirs.
I did not like her Jolene cover.
Yeah, that's fine. Because Jolene is a very, very good song on the song. It's just, that's one of those things where like, no, it's over there. You got it. Like, ain't nobody covering Hurt
anymore.
It's Johnny Cash's song.
It wasn't even his song.
It's not even his song.
He covered
but they was just like, well, that's his song now.
And then Rick and Morty reused the original. I'm like, what is this track? Oh, it's the moms that made the song.
Like, I've not heard a professional artist do Bohemian Rhapsody. Because it's like, what's the point? Nobody's covering this.
I think there was somebody that made another cover song, maybe like Creep or something, where it's just like, well, it's over. Yeah. You're done. But yeah, course, if you running up that hill.
If you get, I'll let me know what those artists are, and I will take them because I am thirsty for new people, and I am always on the prowl.
There you go. You might want to reword.
Yeah, come. That's not even. It's nowhere near what was being talked about. So this is fine. It's 2 hours and let's say 10 minutes because of the interruption. Nobody's listening through here, so I can just say whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, until you get clipped, and it's just like, why are you listening this far?
I'm always on the prowl. Where did I say that? They're gonna make a diabolical supercut of me one day. I'm talking about all these 14-year-olds, and now I'm always on the prowl on the records. Mother.
Yeah, it's gonna be the worst compilation you ever hear in your life.
Iconography and designs for their logos because they knew just how many people would recognize and remember
it's
it.
popular.
So again, we asked this question. Is Demon Slayer just a mid-anime that gets carried by the animation? While I do believe there's some merit to this argument in that the anime definitely propelled its popularity, I think it's incredibly reductive to say that it gets carried by the animation. Demon Slayer becoming the phenomenon.
You talk so much about the animation though, and the care of it, and
phenomenon that it is, while it does have some factors of luck, just came from an artist and an animation studio that wanted to put out the best type of work possible.
And they did, and what happened because of it?
Even looking at Kagarigari compared to the current Demon Slayer art, Koyoharu Gotake genuinely improved so much on their art style and storytelling, and I think that
Flame of Recca mangaka improved. It's the most drastic jump that I've ever seen in 30 chapters.
Oh, okay. I was about to say JoJo's.
Oh yeah, no. That's completely different. But
30 chapters, yeah. You can see you can in real time see the change.
Page to page.
Some kind of recognition. Katayama even mentioned how much of a hard worker Gotake is and just continued.
Hey,
Hard
all
work
of them are hard workers because
mangaka as a whole.
It's a slave-like driven industry. It's a monstrous industry.
I don't think that in Fairy Tail is good because Hiro Mashima is a monster.
Pumping out 97 series a day.
Making art for games and all sorts of draw with what?
Legitimately, like one of the most scathing lines I've ever heard in my life. One I revisit countless times. Because he's just drawing with his left and writing with his right. And it doesn't matter. Because neither are of quality. It's like, holy... It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Or it was even
doing a legitimate skill. Like, it's trash.
Because neither are of quality. And that's basically what it is. It's like spinning plates and juggling. But what you're juggling is like magnets and your hand is magnetized, so it's constantly doing it on its own, basically, in a plate that can't fall. So the skill can look impressive. Oh, I'm spinning a plate and juggling. But it's not a quality trick because it's really just the device is doing anything.
Continuously draws and draws, and that is certainly
I don't think that this is good because he's hardworking or they're hardworking. That means nothing because there's all the mangaka that are very hardworking.
These 27 mangaka we're about to read, these series,
surely they were.
You don't think they were hardworking? You don't think they put in all of these things and tried to create the best product they could and listen to their editor and all this stuff and still got the acts in 2 volumes? I'm looking at a lot of them, 19 to 20 chapters, and Dunzo.
You don't think that in Astro Royale, Muff was putting out the best quality work that he could? It don't matter. Even with the nepotism, it don't matter.
You think in Kishimoto wasn't putting out the best he could with that in Samurai 8?
Again, listen to a bad album from an artist that you like. You're just like, dang, I don't like this. But, you know, they work hard.
It's something I noted about Drake fans where he'll put out an album that's like 20 to 22 tracks long, just a super long album, and they'll go, yeah, it's about what I expected, a lot of middling, like 3 or 4 songs I really like, pretty good. And it's like, no, why are you accepting an artist you like putting out 4 songs you can like? And no, it's good enough. Like, if the artist is like, no, you should be asking more for that artist.
You know what they can do. Why are you okay with 14 bad songs?
In the manga as time goes on. Adding on top of that the fun and mostly tasteful humor that Demon Slayer brings to the table while also delivering on action, suspense, and depth, Demon Slayer truly deserves its popularity, and by no means only because of anime.
Hey, besides the mostly tasteful comedy, what are you saying that isn't Fairy Tail?
And I like how you had the asterisk mostly tasteful.
Yeah.
Because there is just va-va-voom jokes.
And slapping 14-year-old girl butt jokes.
And hey, you sure are an ugly little girl guy who is dressed up as a girl.
And hey, please marry me. Stop harassing that girl.
In fact, I would be hard-pressed to find anything about Demon Slayer that I didn't like. The only thing...
That's nuts. You are, I'm sorry, not qualified to talk about this if there's nothing that you dislike about this.
I don't think there could be a 4-page short story that won't have something I don't like in it. Like, I don't think that's possible for anything to be 100% light.
I'm not listening to you when you go everything. So you must think that this is perfect.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. You just got to think about the ghosts and what's going on there.
fact, I would be hard-pressed to find anything about Demon Slayer that I didn't like. The only thing I can think of is that Demon Slayer could have used a little bit more time to world build and develop its characters, but even that gets...
Develop its character? That's a pretty big thing!
And he also talked about earlier, character development is why people gravitate towards it.
That's what I did in my video. My totally legitimate video.
You truly were just an anime YouTuber.
In 3 days.
But to be no, I can't even say that. I was about to say to be the most fair, you didn't really need to speak on your points. You just grabbed points from somebody else and then built on it. But this mother's just grabbing points and building on it. And so much less editing, because he just needs to kind of do a crossfade and then drop an effect on it to switch to the side.
But I do think that there's merit in having the person over here and the quote over here and the...
No, that's cool. I'm saying the editing is so much less, it's so much more minimal than the thing you did. So it's not it doesn't feel like a 5-hour editing job to have the paper and then the quote and then the person. Like, you can copy and paste the quote. Or cut it out, because that's what he did. He did screenshots.
For a tight, fast-paced story, so I think it's well worth the sacrifice. I think a lot of the Demon Slayer hate is purely because the anime is popular and doesn't deserve it, but as we can see, there's so much about the anime and manga that makes it stand out from the crowd, and I can't wait to see the anime's conclusion in the near future.
You're not a manga boy, are you?
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to me yap about Demon Slayer. If you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to know when new videos come out. Maybe leave a comment talking about if you think that Demon Slayer is overhated or if you think it's justified. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if there's any other topics you're interested in me talking about, and I'll see you guys next time.
This video should have been like the history of Demon Slayer or something other than why it's forced, because this is not explaining why it's forced.
8.5?
I was thinking 8. Because I like the editing. The editing was up there with the best that we've seen on Revisited.
The only issue I have is it's very much the My Hero Naruto stuff. I don't feel as bad about Bleach as I do about Naruto and My Hero, even though they all had fall from graces, even though they all stunk up the joint at the end. It doesn't feel as bad because where I was with Bleach is so much lower than where I was with Naruto and My Hero Academia. I was at a 3 for this video. And then he brought me up to, and I can't just...
That's what always sucks in that case.
I can't believe it. Like, I was like, okay, this is just going to be a nothing video. No.
Dude seems pretty well spoken, researching stuff, quoting.
I don't even know if it was
stuff.
Researching, really. If it was just, I'm gonna go to Anime News Network.
It was a lot of Anime
search
News
Demon
Network.
Slayer, and then cut out the
Anime News Network did kind of do the work for that. All right.
Yep.
DSP Day.
DSP Day.
I've got some banger pictures for you, and I have special requests. At least one of them. Can I show you the ones that I found? Nice food eating. There's.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have a hard one. Special request, sir. Special request.
Yes. Okay. Understandable. I kind of want that one for the food one. What was the other food one? Dang!
Dude, that's why I went from bottom to the top, because the top has the one that you're going to use.
Yeah, that's so good.
Scary eyes. Special request. He did foot in his face so much. I don't know what he was doing. Here it comes.
Is this the fake leg?
This is completely real. I don't know what he's doing, but here's the food that you're going to use. Already
what is he doing?
Big ups right there for you.
What is he doing? Bro, there's no way in the world.
Nice.
Big ups! Oh my god! That should be an emote.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, we should.
And then we got another one, and then got another one. He was going crazy with it.
Yeah, he's and begging.
So yeah, good luck.
Yeah, because legitimately, if it wasn't for the banger food one, I'd have a hard choice just between the two food ones. All right, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, so DSP Day, he's got new, I've got old. He's got his new already. I'm between like
It's
three
gonna-
things for my
But
old.
it's gonna flip flop, and I don't know if it's gonna at the end of the day because I still want to do his 3-pass bullshit of.
Oh, that was so bad.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. But whatever it's gonna be, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm not doing the other one.
And you know something else is gonna come out
It
that's
always
gonna make
pops
me
off.
want to do it for my new one. So it might not be until July, August you're looking at yours. Whatever you don't choose. And then this month, all right, how about this, guys? If we hit the goal for 50, we'll pick one. And then 60, we'll pick the we'll do whatever I don't want. And for this, dude, I'm glad he's back to mega backing.
Yeah, 3 straight streams of not hitting the goal. He was thirsty.
Hey, smart guys, get that stuff out of here.
Out. It made $71. Whoops. For his big 4-hour show.
See you later, buddy.
PPP was laughing. What you think you was doing, dude? Come on now.
It's a show that he didn't even want to do. It was going to be carried by a dude that did want to do a wrestling show who likes WWE and wanted to talk about wrestling.
And who has the history of it instead of just, I'm coming in 5 years removed. So you have 5 years of missing stuff that's been happening. So you can't be like, this match reminds me of this, or their match before was better. You're just going...
You can't even be like, this is a story that started in like 2023 that got teased then. And now we're finally getting to see it come to fruition.
And there is merit in going... This is, I'm looking at this just purely based upon what they're presenting me, but I would like to have my wrestling commentary be more informed.
I would like, if you're gonna do it that way, there should be one informed dude and one uninformed. Which was. And I'm the straight man. No, you're not funny. You're not entertaining. He wants to excuse that he sucks. Like I'm supposed to suck. No. This is just like people. I was watching a 100 worst rap songs of 2024, and I really like it because it's not like I'm talking about it. It's just the person plays 10 seconds of the snippet of the song, like the worst part of it, and then goes to the next song, and I love it. And then people are like, "This was a joke song. It was supposed to be bad," and it's like, okay. Even if you're bad on purpose, you made a bad song, and this is the worst song. You can't excuse it. Like, this is just like, speaking of wrestling, apparently John Cena and Cody Rhodes' main event match was horrible.
It was not very good from what I'm hearing.
Horrible.
But a lot of people are just going, it wasn't the spectacle that last year's main event was, where 15 people rocked up.
But people are excusing it because Cena said he's back, he turned heel because he's back to quote unquote ruin wrestling. And now people are like, well, he had a bad match on purpose to ruin our main event at WrestleMania. It's super meta and heel, and that's what's good about it. It's like, well, even if that's the case, even if he did a good job at that, I had to watch a bad match before his good heel work or whatever. And that's what it is. And that's exactly what it is. Hey, it's still bad.
I'm going to make you a piece of burnt chicken. You accomplished making the piece of burnt chicken.
But now I got to eat burnt chicken.
Yeah.
No, burnt chicken is disgusting.
And then you set off the fire alarm and it went wee woo.